Hi there, this is Bridget from the PlannerSpeechie. Welcome to the channel. Today I am going to be planning for my first full week of summer vacation using this really sweet kit from PinkPlannerDiamondCo called Outdoor Movie. Unfortunately, this kit is no longer available. Her shop recently closed, but there might be some buy trade sell groups that have more of this. I thought this was really fun. It's very summery. It's got lots of summer foods, outdoor games, and movies, obviously. So this is the full kit. So there's lots of different deco here that's very small. Okay. So then we have some patterned boxes here. We've got this really cute little scene, some headers, and some full boxes, more patterned boxes, and this really cute washi. I almost feel guilty using this big of a size kit because it's my summer vacation and I don't really know how much I'm going to be doing this week, but we shall see. Okay, so then I have a couple of things here. I'm pulling in this sampler from Carly Plans. It's got really cute little bears on it and this pink glitter pattern that matches this kit perfectly. I also have some scripts from Scroll Prints Co. and Plannahannah. This script was a font of the, well, it's her standard scripts in this font of the month, which I'll show you carefully in a minute. And then this is silver, just sort of chill self-care things. I'm going to be using part of this bundle from Caress Press in Silver called Movie Night. This went with a kit that I actually used before I was able to use this bundle, but it has lots of cinema friendly things on it. Got some really cute washi, some silver foil with this. I'm not going to be using these, but these are silver underlays, and instead I'm going to be using these solid patterned foil of the month boxes. This foil was from, I want to say it came out in January. So it has like kind of a Valentine's Day, but I thought it would bring out the pinks hues in this kit. So I'm going to go ahead and speed things up and come back in a voiceover. Hi guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining. This was a really fun week to put down, and it was the first week of my summer vacation. So I was really excited to put this one down. This shop is no longer open, unfortunately, but I did love using this art and working with these materials. I love having lots of different shops represented. I think it's fun and exciting. Um, so this was kind of what I like to call non like existence week, because if you don't work in a school, basically you go from, think of like a road runner just going as fast as you can, a million miles a minute, and then all of a sudden you stop. And you're sort of, it's a very unmooring experience to have all this responsibility, all these different tasks running through your head nonstop, and then just to have nothing. Really crazy. So that's kind of what this week represented for me, was just the beginning of learning, relearning how to slow down and relax. I'm really bad at this. I don't know how to relax. I have anxiety and chronic insomnia, and so to not have like a bajillion tasks is really difficult. One thing I want to say about this foil that I'm putting down for the underlays, so this was originally a foil of the month from Plannahannah. It is now in her permanent rotation of foils. It's called Lover. And I got it because I initially was going to use it with the Valentine's Day set from the Pink Planner Diamond Co. And I'm really glad that this foil is going to be available to use because it's really stunning and you can do a lot of different things with it. So that was kind of fun. I loved putting down all these different film things. I put the film strip over the solid and it came out looking so great. And then being able to use these silver on top of all the different patterns was really fun too. I feel like with the backlight, you can see the foil a lot more vividly than you can when I'm filming without it. So if you see any lighting contrasts to the foil, it's just because I have one ring light and that's it. Um, I'm sorry I got cut off a little bit there with my overlays, but the details on these overlays were so cute. There's little popcorn and director's chairs, and it's just so sweet. I'm a big movie person. I really love watching movies, going to the movies. I have to say, after COVID, I am one of those people that prefers to watch movies at home. Um, Recently, we went to an AMC theater and the movie previews lasted 45 minutes. I'm not kidding. We went through more than half our popcorn by the time the movie started, and I was like, what is going on? This is so ridiculous. Like, the thing about movie trailers, I love movie trailers. I used to watch them all the time, like for fun. Um, but because of the internet, we have access to movie trailers months and months before they hit movie theaters. And so, what used to be the singular thing that you could do at the movie theater is something now we get at home. And so, to sit there for 45 minutes to watch something that we can watch anytime is absurd. So, get it together, AMC, because I for sure I'm not going to show up on time for a movie if you're going to do 45 minutes worth of previews. Especially if you have kids. Like a lot of parents take their kids to the movies during the summer because it's an air conditioned, cool, relaxing experience. But to expect kids to sit for that long without anything else going on, like that is ridiculous. So, um, anyway, that's my soapbox. But I'm just going ahead and putting some of these things on here. There were some issues with this kit in particular. I don't know if it was like the cut lines just weren't deep enough or something, but I had a really hard time peeling labels off of this kit. So you're going to see me struggle with that a little bit. But that June sticker is from Carly Plans, and then I just used the foil numbers from the foil bundle to mark June 16th through 22nd. And I used a full week in my planner. This kit did come with the hole reinforcers, which was kind of neat. I'm glad because some of my kits don't, and so it's nice to have. It just keeps the planner more cohesive, and I don't have to worry when I flip back and forth to look at things that I'm going to rip something. So, but anyway, I really, really love the solid underlays. They're so fun. And then you don't have to worry about covering them up because you're going to get the pattern no matter what. So this was really cute deco also. I am a Sour Patch Kids girl when I go, well, Sour Patch Kids or Junior Mints. Those are two very different candies for the movie theater. I understand. I don't get both at the same time. That would be ludicrous. But I do get one or the other. And I also get Mike and Ike's. So those are the my preferred candy. I always get popcorn. I always get a soda. When I was a kid, I didn't wasn't allowed to have caffeine, so I was allowed to have Sprite. But I didn't have Coke. Now I usually go for a diet Coke or my preferred is like a diet cherry, which you never see unless you go to one of those movie theaters with like the Japanese um, soda dispensers, and those are awesome because you can do like all kinds of crazy combinations. So fun. Anyway, I'm doing more of the deco like on the side now because I end up with all this extra deco that I don't want to waste. So I'm like, you know what, let's just put it out there. So I did cut off the top of that Coke bottle for that side, but you can still see it. So it all worked out. Anyway, I'm just going to show you a brief sort of flap of what everything looks like from above so you can see how pretty that foil really is and how much it shines. So gorgeous. Anyway, let's get into the day by day. So the first thing I'm marking here is that I did cross stitch and I watched TV. I was actually rewatching the show Girls from a million years ago, and I was living in Brooklyn at the time. I didn't live in Greenpoint like those characters did, but I did know people in Greenpoint. I spent a lot of time in Greenpoint and Bushwick and all those places. So it wasn't totally my experience, I have to say. Like Lena Dunham took a lot of liberties, but the show holds up. I think it's interesting, and I'm excited to watch her new show, Too Much. I to this day I have not seen it yet, even though it's been out for a bit. So, um, but so I did. What's the next thing? I folded laundry. So I had done my laundry the day before, but I hadn't folded any of it, and that's like my least favorite part. But I did fold laundry. I made, I marked that I made turkey sandwiches for lunch for me and my husband. The nice thing about being home, my favorite thing about being home, is that I get to see my husband more. He works from home, so I like being able to take care of him while I'm home, making him lunch and things like that. It's something I choose to do. I like it. So, um, but I did have a therapy appointment at 4 o'clock, and I do virtual therapy, but that sticker is from Once More with Love, and then that script is from Carly Plans. Um, I started, well, I was reading Dante's Inferno. I had this project. I want to read Ulysses by James Joyce, and in order to prep for that, I was trying to read some of the things that was inspired by. I also marked that my friend AJ had her baby. She actually had her baby on June 10th. Her baby's name is Parker. Yay, Parker. But I found out about it on the 16th, so I just marked it there. And then I just marked that I was in my feelings. I was feeling really depressed. And again, I think it has to do with that transition from going nonstop working to suddenly having nothing to do. Um, so that is a really fun Stick with the Plan Co. sticker. I wish I'd zoomed in a little bit more actually. But it just says busy being lazy, and that's pretty much what I did. I felt like such a schlub. I played on my phone, I cross stitched, I watched girls, um, and then I marked, the next thing I marked was that I took a shower. And you can see me kind of struggling with these labels. They did not want to come away from the page. So um, if you see me disappear for a minute or two, like that's why. So I use this little axolotl and script from Carly Plans to mark that I took an everything shower. The next thing that I marked is that I pulled stickers. So I used a sticker from a foil bundle, and I also, in between that, I made more turkey sandwiches for my husband. Um, the next thing I'll mark is that I cleaned my speech toys. So I brought them home from my office to clean them because I knew that if I cleaned them at the end of summer, they would just become disgusting. I'm probably going to have to clean them again before I bring them back to school. I really have to start bringing them home like every Friday and cleaning them every Friday. It's just such a pain to bring all that stuff. It's mostly Fisher Price Little People toys, couple of different um, puzzles and things like that. So but I did want to make sure that those were clean. Um, I did take a drive out to this area called Plaza Midwood. I'm sorry you can't really see that. And I had a little office reunion with a couple of friends from work that I used to work with, and then current coworkers. One of my former coworkers is now going to graduate school to become a speech language pathologist, and I'm so happy for her, and I'm excited for her, and she's going to be at UNC this fall. So I really hope she's UNC Chapel Hill. So I'm really, really happy for her, and I hope that she has a good SLP experience. Um, so on Wednesday, I woke up, I slept really poorly on Wednesday. I don't really know. Again, I think it has to do with the transition of just not being at work. Um, Same thing. I cross stitched and watched girls. Um, I got a call from my friend Brittany that summer cell phone is from Carly Plans, and we talked for about an hour. And she had a interview she had to go do, but it was nice to catch up with her. And then I did pay my student loans, so that bear is from Carly Plans, and that script is from a foil of the month that matches the overlay, excuse me, the underlays. that I had made from Plannahannah. The next thing that I marked is that I read. I didn't write what I read, but I read Dante's Inferno. So I used another bear from that sampler bundle to mark that. I'm trying to put all the flags down, and actually, I'm pretty sure what happens is I did the spacing all wrong, and so I ended up um, stopping the video so that I could move all of those to the right spot because I could not get those things up um, in a timely manner. So you're gonna see me struggle with that for a second, but I'll just go into keep going. So um, I ended up having to call my pharmacy because I had two different prescriptions for the same medication, and the way insurance will let you fill certain medications is they just assume that you filled the previous one, and that didn't happen. So I had to call them, fill the medication, and they were able to fill it. So I was able to get enough of the medication I needed so that when we would go to New York, I would have it. So I ended up going to CVS to pick up that medication. I got a call from my mom who was having kind of a hard day, and so I sort of talked her through that. Um, I did go to Publix, and then I did have Sushi Wednesday with my husband. All of those scripts, except for the groceries one, are from Carly Plans. And so then on Thursday was Juneteenth, and so I actually had from a sampler Carly Plans sticker that I got from her shop. It just said Juneteenth, and I didn't really know how to mark Juneteenth well, so I just used the bear with the balloons. It's like this is a celebratory event. I didn't really have a good icon for that. Um, so Juneteenth was a Thursday, and my husband had the day off from work, which was helpful for us because we were having our backyard fence installed. And this is very exciting because this enterprise basically took 8 weeks to put together because we had to wait for the HOA to approve it, even though it's the same company that everyone in our block uses. I don't know why it took so long, it was really frustrating. But they told us when they were going to install the fence that they were likely going to hit the internet line, and we didn't really know what to do about that because at the time we didn't realize that this was kind of the responsibility of the fence company to check with the phone company and make sure that the internet line was marked so that they wouldn't hit it. And spoiler alert, they actually ended up hitting it twice. And we didn't know that they hit it twice. But whatever the first time they hit it, the internet actually went out. So I used a Once More with Love sticker to mark that fence installation. I think that was from the IKEA sampler that I have. Um, and then I used a bear with a computer to mark that our internet was out. But we knew that this was a possibility. They told us, they warned us that this could happen. And so my husband was prepared and ready to call the phone company to have them reinstate it. So for the rest of the day, we did not have internet. So I cross-stitched and listened to an audiobook. Um, and I did finish Dante's Inferno, so I was very productive. I made this delicious penne pasta with butternut scotch Instant Pot, and I did mark that my anxiety was at an all-time high this day. I'm not 100% sure what that was about. One thing that I did not mark, but that I did do, is that I bought my husband Glenn Ross Broadway show tickets because we were going to be in New York. And um, it was Bill Burr, Bill Odenkirk, Michael McKean, and um, Kieran Culkin were starring in that play. And so those are all of my husband's favorite actors. And so I was like, we have to go. Like, this is going to be so fun. So um, I did end up getting those tickets for him. I used this little like sleeping bear to mark summer. I didn't really have a cute summer icon that I could use. I'm sure I did, but I just didn't have it in front of me at the time. So I used this little sleeping bear because I wanted this to be a relaxing summer. Um, so you have to remember that our internet was still out at this point. which meant we were running on batteries for a lot of things. We had electricity, but we didn't have internet. So my husband works from home, so he needed to work remotely at a coffee shop until the internet was coming back up. Um, so they weren't going to come and install one until later. So he ended up going to a coffee shop called Waterbean. In the meantime, while he was gone, I vacuumed the kitchen. I sort of straightened up so that if a person was going to come into our house, like it wouldn't look totally insane. Um, I did a lot of cross stitching and I listened to Frederick Bachman's My Friends, the audio. I didn't get to finish it before I had to return it, so I'm still in the middle of it, so no spoilers, please. Um, but anyway, Frank came home and we hung out for a little bit together, and then the guy came to fix the internet line, and he did, but he couldn't bury the line at the time. So actually, I think our line is still not buried at this point, but it's going to be soon. And then I spent some time watching TV with Frank, so I used a Carly Plans TV along with a With Frank custom sticker from Plannahannah. So then on Saturday, I woke up early and I fed the cats around 6:30 in the morning. I did watch a documentary on Netflix about Greenfell, which is the um, apartment complex that unfortunately caught on fire, and it was a very sad story. I think it's an important story, so I would recommend it if you are in a place to watch a sad documentary right now. Um, but I also got up and made avocado toast with coffee, and I used a Scribble Prince Co. sticker to mark that. I actually marked this backwards on Saturday. I'm not really sure why I did it like this, but it's all good. Um, so anyway, I had the avocado toast and the coffee, and then I used a teddy bear sticker from Carly Plans to mark me time. That script is from Scribble Prince Co. It's just like an extra that I had. And I did have a wax appointment at 12:30 that day, so I think that's really what that was for. I did some cross stitching, and then I put off doing all the chores. Like I was such a schlub, but we did get Pizza Hut for takeout, and then we watched this movie, Saturday Night Fever. So I'd never seen it. My husband had never seen it, but he grew up in the area where they filmed it. And I always thought it was just like a dance disco film, but there are some pretty dark undertones to this film. There's a trigger warning for SA, so just be aware of that before you watch it, but it's a really like important film in cinema. I accidentally marked that we watched it the previous week on my other plan with me. I just got confused about the dates. The previous week, we watched Michael Clayton and Ocean's 11, so we had kind of like a George Clooney marathon. But this night we watched Saturday Night Fever, and it was really good. So then on Sunday, I marked that I slept in, and I used this adorable little bear and then the script from the bundle that matched the lover foil to mark that I slept in. Um, we had cinnamon toast with eggs for breakfast. This was cinnamon bread from Publix. It was really good. It was like iced over on the top, so it was like an iced loaf. It was delicious. And then we spent some time like playing with our kitties. So I used this really adorable Sweet Ava's paper sticker to mark that. We have three beautiful cats, and they love to play in the sunshine in the morning. So if you have a cat and you don't have a cat dancer, go get one. It's a piece of wire with like cardboard on the back. It's like the biggest ripoff in terms of like production because you're paying like $5 for something that probably costs like 10 cents to make. But it is our cat's favorite toy, and we go through like four of them a month. So, um, highly, highly recommend. I did do laundry this day, and I used a Carly Plans kitty sticker to mark that along with a script. Um, I used the bath sticker from the bundle, but I actually just cleaned the bathrooms. I didn't take a bath, but I used that sticker because I wanted to use it. And then the last thing that I marked was that I planned. This was when I filmed my July bullet journal setup and a couple of other videos. I edited and uploaded some stuff so that when we were on vacation in New York, everything would be uploaded. And I just hand wrote a lot of those things in. So in just a second, you're going to see, I'm going to zoom out so you can see the full spread in my planner. But here she is. I really love how this came out. So these are the leftover pages. Now the shop has closed. I'm willing to destash these if anybody wants me to send them to them for free. I'm happy to do so. I hate to waste them because they're good stickers, but I just can't use that kit again. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Take care, you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.